Order number 47. Number 47, your order's ready.
So here we are, guys. Welcome.
Here we go
Fashen,
again.
Captn20.
Hi.
How you guys doing?
Fantastic.
You guys ready to talk about something very important in the DJ world?
Let's do it.
A little bit of DJ etiquette, to say the least. The opening DJ.
Yes.
There's been a lot of steam this whole month about this. The right, the wrong, do's and don'ts of the opening DJ. And it's safe to say, I can speak for myself, I was the opening DJ.
I think we all were, though. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
I opened.
So we all started as opening DJs, correct?
Still am sometimes.
You still are sometimes.
Sometimes.
I like that. So, I mean, damn, how do we start? Where do we start? Like, this is, there's obviously been some Twitter wars between some DJs. Some DJs say, hey, play whatever you want. Don't worry about it. And if you're a good DJ, you can manage, which is true in a sense. But I think we can all agree every room and every party is different.
Yeah.
It's a whole different situation. Because I'll give you an example, Five and I, as FAED. They had us playing with Lil Jon at a big party on a Tuesday night, main room Omnia. And it was an opener already before us. Then we go on from like 11:30 to 1 or something. And then Lil Jon goes on 1 to 3, whatever. And the guy that booked us said, hey, you're not opening.
Yeah.
You're co-headlining. Like, do your thing. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, and room is jam-packed. We got to, like, keep the energy. So the way we did it was we played, high energy.
Mainly our edits.
We played a lot of our shit. Because now John can't tell us nothing because it's like you're playing your own edits
held
and
back
remixes.
a lot too, man.
You play shots?
We obviously didn't play anything with his voice on it. So that's the most important.
Yeah.
Right.
If there is an artist like that, you don't play their music.
Right.
For sure.
And there's DJs that actually do, thinking they are showing them love.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I'm supporting you. Like, bruh, this is my song. I'm gonna play it. Right?
And John's like notorious. He'll go up to you and like be like, "Yo, what the fuck you doing?" Like,
Yeah.
He
He
did that.
always
He'll
goes
send
in
someone
early.
on
you?
He did that to me. We had back when I was on Scam and we did a takeover in Atlantic City, it was the same thing. Errol was the agent at the time and he said, hey, this is the Scam takeover. He's like, no one's opening for anyone. You just do your thing. And I had walked in and Obi was on at the moment. He was playing he was going like way like safe. And I'm like, bro, I was like, you can turn up a little bit. He's like, I'm almost done anyway. And I was like, well, dude, this room is packed. And it was because it was like when they do that
Murmur or
it was Murmur, but don't they have that like the DJ conference?
Oh yeah,
it's all DJs in there.
I went on and I did the same thing. I knew John was about to play after me, and we each had like an hour set. And I had it popping, but I was playing like older stuff, and I didn't play anything that he would have played. And exactly, as soon as he went on after me, he didn't play anything near like what I played.
Yeah, so that's the same thing.
But
we
he
did.
saw that I had the energy going.
Yeah.
And then he called me out on the mic. He stopped the music when he started, and he's like, "Thanks for fucking me up, Fashen."
What?
Or some shit like that.
Yeah, see, he didn't do that to us
He
because
got,
I think he
all
knew.
mad.
The thing is, he got there early, so now he's there watching our whole set.
Yeah.
And
He
we're
always
like,
does, yeah.
Yeah,
like
no, he
not
was
to be
there.
full of
He
ourselves,
was
but we
there.
had this shit popping.
So I
And was like,
I pulled his road manager aside, and I was like, "Yo, man," I was like, "Did I really like fuck him up?" And he's like, "Nah, man." He goes, "You did fine." He's like, "Let that
started fucking
motherfucker
with you,
work."
yeah. So, what do you do in a situation like that?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to us. If we have a headlining gig,
Right.
I think for me, what bothers me, all right, there's different situations.
Yeah.
There's one of a DJ trying to keep the room packed and popping with energy, and
doing their job.
and they're playing stuff with high energy,
Right.
not necessarily hits, right? High energy, and then they might throw in a couple songs that you might play. But there's another thing of them going crazy on the mic
Yeah.
and
That's a
jumping
whole
up on the
different story.
stage. Like, that's a whole different situation.
That's a whole different story.
Like, to me, you can play the high energy. Sure, the room, we're on at what, 12:30 or 1 in Vegas. If it's midnight and it's popping, like, of course keep the room. But like when they're doing extra on the mic, that's a little much, you know? Because when I used to open, I like play older hits, and then no mic. That way, when the headliner comes on, that's it. That's when you see the transition. Oh shit! It's a show. It's a something's different. Something's happening. What's happening?
Yeah.
And then sometimes these clubs are hitting the confetti and all that before we even go on. So now it's just like, oh, what's the difference?
Yeah, there's
That was
no,
our thing.
And they
man.
want us to hit an intro, and I'm like, why are we gonna hit an intro when the show already started?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it depends. I'm a kind of just jump in a little bit on it. It just depends on you got to know the market. You got to know if it's a club gig, if it's like a festival type lineup. Like it's different. Like we were just talking about. Like if you're the guy that's opening and you're trying to get your shine on, fuck it, get your shine on, bro. But like also understand that you're part of a meal that's coursed out. Like you're serving dinner before you're serving the main course before the first course.
Yeah.
Like, there's an etiquette there. If you want the programming of the night to be a certain way. So if you're somebody if you're DJs that have ever produced your own event or ran an event or been involved in anything that's bigger than just you, your perspective is going to be different because you want the guest experience to be a certain way. But if you're a club that opens from 10 to 2, you got 4 hours. If you're a Vegas club, you have 6 or 8 hours or 10 hours. So, like me, first time playing in Vegas, they were just like, play whatever the fuck you want. If it's the same shit, it's the same shit. Like there's not even the same people in here anymore. But if you're in an intimate club where probably doesn't fill up until like 11:30, quarter to 12, and you're the opener and you're thinking that that's your window to just bang it out, it's really like, what are you trying to prove at this point? That you're in an opening slot because someone already thinks you're a capable DJ. No one's gonna put you in that slot if you suck. So at that point, it's just like, what makes you a better DJ? Killing it without playing the top 100 currents? Yes, to me, that's like, you can kill it without playing the hottest shit. Anyone can go in there and play the hottest shit and kill it.
There was a DJ in New York at Up and Down.
Oh, Johnny Coco.
Man,
he's dope.
I was on after him, and I was like so entertained hearing him play. He was killing it, and I'm talking, he's playing Cameron,
he's dope.
Destiny's Child, and I'm like, dude, what?
He's a perfectionist.
The room is going
People forget,
crazy.
but people forget those records were hits. Those were the big in that era when those records were hits. They're timeless. Those are timeless records. So you can still play them and get reaction
in New
out
York.
Of those records.
You know what's crazy? Not to cut you off, but like I've heard situations where like the headliner will get mad at the DJ for burning him for playing like Party Up or like like Bring 'Em Out. I'm like, just because it's a recurring in your set, like he's not burning you. He's like, if he's playing Mike Type,
thinking he's playing older
Mike
shit.
Type or
Nice for What or whatever.
one of them big, like the biggest
The
song of the
Baby,
night, or when you transition and he's playing Suge by the Baby, like that's an asshole
happened.
move.
Yeah.
That's like now you're just being an asshole.
Or like 2
But
minutes.
you know what though? But to that argument, like I kind of have a problem when because there's hits and then there's anthems.
Yeah.
Because look at DJ Khaled. All I Do Is Win. I mean, to me, that's still a headline record,
Yeah,
even though it's 3 years old,
That's
4
true.
years old.
Yeah.
It was way older
and then
than
and then
that.
there, in like
So is Be Faithful. So
or
is
like,
like Party Up.
That's
Those
true.
are anthems. In
Like,
a
I
lot,
just-
to a lot of people.
I played over the weekend,
Shots,
and the
those are
guy
anthems.
Sure is.
I played over the weekend, and the guy before me, he was good. He was good, but he literally hit like 6 records in a row, like sing along records, where you drop the
my God.
thing and everyone sang, and I'm like, okay, well, basically all those are shot. Like, that's gone. Like,
Yeah.
and
Older stuff or newer stuff?
older stuff.
Okay,
Older
but
stuff.
anthems.
Like, you're talking
But
about-
anthems, anthems that are going to work. Like for example, like and I know it doesn't work in everybody's market now, but like Living on a Prayer.
Like
Oh,
Journey.
yeah.
Like
Bon
things like
Jovi,
that people sing along to. And again, even
Journey.
though those aren't current hits, those are songs that still should be
course.
kind of left alone because, like you said, it's kind of like shooting the confetti before,
No, I agree.
And like doing that, like you're like more than likely like I won't recommend you, or like co-sign you to anyone because like this dude's like an asshole. Like, he's,
Well, you don't co-sign anyone
I feel
anyway.
like too it
Dude,
has a
we
lot.
co-sign. No, we co-sign a lot of people.
I
back
feel
in
like
the
it has
days.
a lot of the way with their attitude is too when they're doing it. Like if you can tell by someone who's really just trying to like
They're mad because you're there.
like why are we paying this guy when I can do this shit?
Yeah.
But I mean
That
it's,
happens a lot,
It's
too.
also different too. Like when we talk about, the house and techno and underground scene, like that's a whole different story. If you're booked as an opener, you're playing a particular type of set. And if you have your own edits and own tracks, that's your time to shine, playing your own edits and remixes of tracks that make sense for your set, not playing every Fisher track if you're opening for Fisher. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's a difference in our world, in the open format world, where it's like, you know, you're not going to play tracks that we make, but we're all kind of feeding from the same pool at that point. So it's like, who am I really to tell this kid he shouldn't be playing any of this music? Yeah. You know, I think it's kind of like, I go back and forth with it now just because I see it a lot more. But like my mentality has just been like, really the only people that really give a shit what the opener's playing is the fucking headliner. Yeah. Like the majority of the people in the room aren't going to remember that they heard this song and then an hour later that they heard it again.
Yes
the
and no.
Staff will.
Yes and no.
You know?
Yes and no, because, and I've seen it in like when clubs are starting to fill up, because there's always that moment in the night when the dance floor is empty and someone's got to be the first one on the floor, and no one wants to be the first one on the floor. And so if you're playing their favorite song super early, they're like, why the fuck is this guy playing my song already? I don't want to go out and dance because I don't want to be the only one on the floor. Mm-hmm. It's and that's why you like warm them up. You kind of get them involved. And not only that, if you're banging out like people's favorite song on the radio right now at like 10:30, people aren't even drunk yet. Like they're like, yo, I haven't even finished my first beverage.
But
and
that's
the dude's
good.
already
By the time
you
they
play
are
it again, like it won't get the same effect. Like,
yeah,
you know, like,
it definitely won't get the same reaction, but they will and enjoy it. For me, like personally, I've never had to tell an opener anything. Like I do get burned, I just kind of suck it up, and it's just like, fuck it. Like this guy's miserable and probably hates me. It's fine. Like I'm just gonna, you know, a good DJ has to just figure it out.
Yeah, you just go and reset.
Even if you know what I do sometimes, like just to break it up, I'll like open for myself again, throw in a couple soft records, build myself up again. So then when the energy comes up, the room notices it.
Right.
They're like, oh shit, it's a party now. Yep, exactly. But like, that's figuring it out. You just have to figure it out on your own. Like, cool, you know, you dig into some older hits or some anthems that weren't touched and build that up. And then later in the night, 1:30 in the morning, if the club closes at 2, which I'm speaking for LA, is like, then you could touch on the big records when everyone's drunk and they forgot they heard it. Because at the end of the day, look at radio programming. Yeah. The big hits get played every hour on the hour. Yeah. But it's for a reason. It's because people want to hear them. Well, there's a reason why people hear shit on repeat on Spotify, because they just want to hear their favorite song over and over. So it's okay to play the big records later, but obviously like spread it out. Like set yourself up, play some anthems, play some classics, then go into, you know, whatever the big record is, which I don't even, what is the big record today? That changes every single day.
It does change every day.
The Baby. Bop.
The Baby is big record.
I mean, the Baby.
All the Baby.
Only in
the
LA.
whole Baby album is.
The Baby.
The Baby.
Anything with the baby in it.
But yo, like, just, you know, I mean, my thing is just don't 2 minutes before I go on, don't bang out the hits, and you're just being an asshole.
Yeah, you know what?
Like,
that happens more
you
often
could
than
tell.
not, though.
You could tell when it's an asshole.
I mean, you
move
could tell when the
versus
opener's
it's a young
sweating.
DJ that doesn't know.
Because I've actually heard openers, and I was like, damn, this dude's like, he's doing it right. And then just like you said, like last 10 minutes, they're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna shove them all in this guy's ass
even
now.
back in the day, is like when I did Mokai in Miami, and like Conflict used to open for us, and I'm like, this is dope, and like he's playing like Phil Collins, and like all kinds of shit. And he's keeping the room, like the energy's up, and then like, dude, we all co-signed him, right? Like, back in the
I think that's kind of the lesson, like for the opener that does want to burn someone because they on some asshole shit, like on purpose. Like, there's a risk that this guy's not gonna fuck with you or ever give you an opportunity. Like, the more the likable you are, the further you're gonna go. So like, if you're setting someone up, they're gonna tell the manager, the owner, whatever, like, oh, how was your night? Like, we flew you in, dope. Yo, had a great time. The opener's dope. Cool. We'll have them on next time you're on or whatever. Like, you can go places if you do it right, and if people like you,
you could tell too.
You'll remember them. You'll remember.
Yeah,
them.
you remember them. Like also, like my rule of thumb is when I walk into any venue, it's like all happy energy. I'm high fiving the security, fucking everybody. First thing I do is go up to the opener, no matter who it is. What's up, man? Try to give them some love. You can tell right then if they give you shade that
you could tell right away the energy,
or if they actually like reciprocate. Like when I would bring guys in and like it was always all love, always. Like it was always like, this is my opportunity to meet someone who's doing things that I want to do or that I could be doing. Like I want to know this person. why you would want to like try to like burn a bridge before you even build it is like.
And I think there's some situations where like the DJ just doesn't know right
they
from
don't know
wrong,
any better.
and their mentality is, oh shit, I know who 5 is, Fashen, Captn20, Eric Dlux. I know where they are. They can help me. I need to impress them.
Yeah.
So they're killing it, thinking they're impressing
But
you,
really killing it.
but really like
killing
this
the
guy's
room.
Really killing
fucking
it,
Fucking up your night.
You know what I mean? Like that situation exists as well, and that just means that they just really didn't know.
Yeah.
I did another night. It was also in Atlantic City, and then the guy that was on then, I can't even remember his name, but he went through everything, and Sujit was there that night, and I think he was trying to impress Sujit.
I heard the story. Yeah.
And he banged out the headlining set, point blank, period. And I basically went on after him, and I played like Biggie Juicy or something like that.
yeah.
I totally just spun it back.
Went the other way.
And he went up to Sujit and was like, I
How'd
killed
I
it,
do?
right? And Sujit was like, yeah, dude, you crushed it. You killed it. And he's
Sujit
like,
doesn't know right from wrong.
no,
He's a
But he actually
businessman.
knew.
yeah,
Oh, he
Sujit
did?
knew. Yeah, no, Sujit knew. He goes, yeah. He goes, you killed it so hard. He goes, what's my guy supposed to play now? And the guy was like, well, what do you mean? And he's like, dude, you played all the hits. He goes, my guy just flew here from L.A. and you basically played like everything that he would have played now. And
Oh,
the guy
shit.
was like, well, I don't normally open. I'm a headliner DJ.
Well, know
And
your
then he's
fucking
like, well,
role.
and Sujit told him, he's like, well, then why did you take the job?
Right.
Yeah.
Why'd you take the job if you're not an opener, or if you couldn't do the opening set? Why'd you take the job?
Wow.
So the dude's
It
ego
backfired.
just deflated.
Yeah.
And then he ended up in the corner the rest of the night, like sulking in his
Oh,
vodka.
man.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Remember
it's
his-
it's
a good lesson.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's
a
a great
it's like a
lesson.
back and forth. Like you talk to different people again in different genres and different lanes, and
Yeah.
they're like, it's like it just depends on like what's the objective here. Like again,
Yeah.
are you trying to make it like a
I mean,
dope
in
fucking
this case,
set start to
in this
finish?
case, you knew what was going on.
Yeah. And
But-
I mean, we've all been there. All been
And
there.
I think there's some opportunity too. Like if you do get burned and don't know how to, if you're not talented enough to play around it,
Yeah.
and you want to control the room, then do the whole night.
Exactly,
Tell the
exactly.
clubs, hey, you know what? I don't need an opener. I'm gonna do the whole night and set yourself up.
I do
If
ho-
that's
I'd
your,
rather-
the case.
I do the whole night. Like
I'd
when
rather not do the whole night and figure it out. If
when I do my Monday night party in Atlantic City, I do the whole night from 10
by
to 2.
choice.
No, not by
Okay,
choice,
okay.
but
But
yeah,
have you ever had to do it by choice, like where this room you get burned?
I
and
mean,
you're
that's,
like, you know
that's
what?
a long set, but I mean, yeah, I guess you could by choice if you wanted to.
Yeah.
They're probably not going to pay you any more or less, but when I do that Monday night, I love it because usually that first 30 minutes, like I usually play one of your guys' mixes actually, 30 minutes. Gus has the great "This Is How You Open" mix,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is awesome, and then that allows me to like get my social media ready, whatever to post shit. And then from there, I'll just play like some cool new records, whatever. But I know how to pace tonight so that I know, like, okay, I know not to play these records too early because I want to play them later. And I feel like if some openers would maybe think back, like, hey, if I was headlining right now, what would I want to play later that I shouldn't play now? But I feel like if you kind of go into it with that mentality, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's different now in Vegas too, where like the openers are also closing. So that's why Vegas openers are. I mean, they're all pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like they know because after we get off at 2:30, they can just go and bang it out like do a whole fucking main room set. So it's all different now, man.
Yeah.
the tribes and tribulations.
Last story, I had one guy. It's the same kind of thing where you were mentioning earlier, where the guy last 2 minutes just totally went in and like the biggest record. I forget what it was, but he played it, and then as soon as I went on, I played my intro, and then I played it again, like right there.
Wow.
And he looked at me like, "Yo, I just played this," and I was like, "Yeah, I know." I was like, "Maybe you shouldn't have."
What do you say?
He
World
just-
star,
he
bitch.
was like, he just kind of like looked at me, and I'm
What
like,
song was it?
I don't even remember. It was recently though. It was like sometime this
Yeah,
last
man,
year.
opening is a craft, dude. Like I always said, like if the opening
I
DJ is
feel like-
good,
Yeah.
I think they're great DJs. If you can,
I feel like I wouldn't be where I am today in my career if I wasn't a good opener.
Yeah.
Like I did such a great
You had to
job
be a good
opening
opener.
for
But not only
fights.
that, with Serato
in
at your
Vegas.
disposal these days, I mean, your library is endless. Like when I was opening for Z Trip back in the day, I mean, we bought all the same records.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
I had 2 crates of records, that he would bring, and he's like, okay, well, we got a lot of the same records, but you better figure out how to not play what I'm gonna play on those records. But I mean, like I said, with a library full of iTunes music, I mean, it's fairly simple.
I think it's just about doing research, and finding what has dope energy that can keep a room moving. That's not a top
old
100
Beyonce
record.
songs.
Old Beyonce
Always
songs.
get the floor popping.
You
Burt
can use
Bacharach.
those. You can do,
Old Jay-Z records.
Swiss Beats, any
Tiger
Swiss
records
Beats
from 3 years
Yo,
ago.
Yeah.
Nelly, Ride With Me.
Yeah.
Huge.
I think
That's
Ride
in
With Me
my, that's
is
in my
too.
headline.
Yeah,
That's in
yeah,
my
the
headline
edit.
set.
Yeah, it's
that
kind of
I
an
play.
anthem, just a hook though.
Yeah.
But I mean, it depends. Like if
Yeah.
someone plays that, no big deal. It's not gonna ruin my night. And you go around, all right, I'm not gonna play this today. I'm not gonna play Party Up today. Like it's fine.
And it
but
works. Yeah.
but the actual obvious hits of today's time, like that's the asshole move. That's when it's like, oh come on, man.
He's like, yeah, you got one more? Yeah, I got one more. Mo Bamba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, right.
Crazy.
And
man.
it had nothing to do with the tempo too. He just played it to be a
It
dick.
just
Right.
All right. Well, thanks guys.
Well,
he went
thanks,
from 0 to Mo
pimps.
Bamba.
Yeah, let us know how you feel about this because this is like a weird. Everyone has a
Yeah.
different opinion on it, like.
And that's just it too. I mean, like the way I come at it, that's just my opinion, and like, I talked about this a little on Twitter yesterday, and some people agree with some of the things I said, and some people disagreed. I'm like, hey, that's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm pretty easy-going too, but
I'm easy going too. I don't say shit, but I go around it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And but if it is someone that does go too hard, I
They get
will say
smacked.
something to the guy like, yo, man, like this guy.
Yeah,
kinda hurt me.
hey, Ross one don't fuck around. He'll like, grab him in the shoulder and he's like, hey man, I'm going on.
I know there's a lot of DJs that'll tell the
yeah.
guy straight up like, yo, bro, why are you burning me?
I kind of keep it low. You know what? I do want to shout out Mark Twyman, Sun Up Jones, Audio, Jason Smith. These are all guys that have opened for me, and they crush the opening
Nice.
set. Like
Nice.
they understand it, and,
Hey,
they know,
you're a
and,
real
they, and
good
all
guy
these
for that,
guys
Fashen.
also headline in their own markets too when they don't have guests in. So
You're a real man
Shout
for
out
others.
hours, like
those
LeBeau over here.
are the homies. I like those guys. Anytime I play with those
No,
guys,
I love those guys too. Oh, I don't only know Audio, but I mean, I don't know.
Dope.
He's dope.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
y'all.
Peace.